In our lives, we often find ourselves at the crossroads of turmoil and tranquility. It's in these moments that the essence of spiritual resilience becomes not just a concept, but a lifeline, a beacon guiding us through the murky waters of hardship. To understand the power of spiritual resilience, we must first embrace its truth, a truth that is both simple and infinitely complex. It is the inner strength that enables us to go through hard times. Let us begin by considering the foundation of resilience. At its core, resilience is the ability to recover from difficulties, to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more determined. But spiritual resilience, that's a different realm altogether. It's not just about getting back on our feet. It's about how we can maintain our inner peace and purpose amidst chaos. Imagine a tree in a storm. The winds are fierce, the rain relentless, but the tree stands firm, not because it is unyielding, but because it knows how to bend and sway with the storm. Now, consider how we, like the tree, can learn to bend and not break. It starts with a foundation of self-awareness. We must know our inner landscape, become intimate with our strengths and vulnerabilities. What gives you peace? What stirs your soul to move forward even when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty? Understanding these parts of ourselves is the first step towards cultivating spiritual resilience. But self-awareness alone isn't enough. We must also forge a connection with something greater than ourselves. For some, this may be a divine presence. For others, it may be a deeply held set of values or a connection to nature. Whatever it is, this connection acts as an anchor, keeping us grounded when the tides of life threaten to pull us away from our center. Here's a question for you, though it's not a question to be answered hastily or without deep reflection. What is it that anchors you? When the world around you is in turmoil, what immutable truths do you cling to? It's in these truths that you will find the seeds of your spiritual resilience. Now, let's talk about the role of community in building spiritual resilience. We are social beings, and our connections with others can be a powerful source of strength. In times of distress, it is often the support and understanding of others that help us to persevere. The collective wisdom of those who have walked similar paths can illuminate our way, offering hope where there was once despair. Furthermore, the act of giving to others, of being of service, can also fortify our spiritual resilience. There is a profound strength that comes from stepping outside of our own struggles to alleviate the suffering of another. In doing so, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things, and our own troubles can seem less insurmountable. As we move through these challenging times, we must also learn the art of acceptance. Acceptance is not about giving up or admitting defeat. Rather, it is about recognizing that there are things beyond our control. By focusing on what we can change and letting go of what we cannot, we free ourselves from the weight of unnecessary burdens. However, acceptance must be balanced with action. It is not enough to simply endure hardship. We must also take proactive steps to improve our situation. This could mean seeking help, making lifestyle changes, or adopting new coping strategies. It's about using our difficulties as a catalyst for growth, rather than allowing them to diminish us. In cultivating spiritual resilience, we must also be mindful of the narratives we tell ourselves. The stories we weave about our lives can either empower us or imprison us. When we choose narratives of strength, hope, and perseverance, we reinforce our resilience. Conversely, when we indulge in tales of victimhood and hopelessness, we undermine our ability to cope. Embracing the ebb and flow of emotional tides. In the second part of our exploration into spiritual resilience, we turn our attention to emotions, the ebb and flow that can either erode or nourish our inner strength. To navigate through hard times, we must learn the delicate art of managing our emotional tides, acknowledging them, understanding them, and ultimately mastering them. Emotions are the language of the soul, a barometer indicating our internal weather. When we experience emotions, we must first recognize them for what they are, transient states, like clouds passing across the sky of our consciousness. By doing so, we avoid the pitfall of over-identification, where we mistakenly believe we are the storm rather than the sky. To cultivate emotional resilience, we must practice observing our emotions without becoming entangled in them. This is where the power of meditation and mindfulness comes into play. Through these practices, we develop the ability to witness our emotional responses without judgment, to sit with them, and to let them pass without acting on them impulsively. This skill is invaluable when facing adversity, as it helps us respond to challenges with clarity and poise rather than reacting out of fear or anger. But mindfulness is just one side of the coin. The other is the cultivation of positive emotional states. Gratitude, love, joy. These are not just pleasant feelings, but powerful tools for building spiritual resilience. By focusing on what is good in our lives, even during times of trouble, we fortify our spirits against the forces of negativity. Gratitude, in particular, can transform our perspective, turning what we have into enough and more. Yet, while we strive to maintain a positive outlook, we must also give ourselves permission to feel sadness, frustration, and grief. These emotions are natural responses to the difficulties we face, and denying them only leads to greater inner turmoil. The key is to allow ourselves to feel them fully, but not to let them define us. In the face of hardship, one of the most profound emotional states we can nurture is compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Self-compassion teaches us to be gentle with ourselves, to recognize that suffering is a part of the human experience, and to give ourselves the kindness we often reserve for others. And when we extend compassion outward, we create a network of empathy and support that can sustain us through the darkest times. Another essential aspect of emotional resilience is the ability to adapt, to be flexible in the face of changing circumstances. Life is unpredictable, and our ability to adjust our expectations and find new ways to approach problems is crucial. This adaptability is not about compromising our values or giving up on our dreams. It's about being open to new possibilities and finding creative solutions. As we navigate the waters of emotional resilience, we must also pay attention to the physical vessel that carries us, the body. Our physical health is deeply intertwined with our emotional well-being. Regular exercise, a nutritious diet, and adequate rest are not luxuries but necessities for maintaining both our physical and spiritual resilience. In closing this segment, let us reflect on the power of emotional resilience. How might nurturing a compassionate heart change the way we face adversity? How can we balance being gentle with ourselves while also pushing forward to overcome the obstacles in our path? Harvesting wisdom from life's thorniest fields. In this third exploration of spiritual resilience, we shall consider adversity not as a foe to be vanquished, but as a teacher, a sculptor intricately carving out the depths of our character. It is in the crucible of challenge that we often find the purest gold of wisdom, if we are willing to mine for it. Adversity introduces us to ourselves. It strips away the veneer of who we think we are and reveals the truth of our inner being. It is easy to be calm and centered when the seas of life are still, but when the storms come, we discover the true strength of our anchor. In these moments, we are given a choice: to be shaped by our struggles or to shape ourselves through them. The act of facing hardships can be transformative. Each challenge we overcome becomes a testament to our resilience, a chapter in the greater narrative of our lives. But the transformation is not automatic. It requires conscious effort, a willingness to learn, and an openness to change. One way to harness the transformative power of adversity is to seek the lessons it offers. Every setback, every obstacle carries within it the seeds of wisdom and growth. Ask yourself, what can this experience teach me? What strengths can I develop as a result? How can I use this to contribute to the lives of others? In doing so, we shift our perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. We become active participants in our life story, authors of our destiny rather than mere characters acted upon by fate. Another aspect of transforming adversity into wisdom is the practice of reflection. Take time to look back on the difficulties you faced and consider how they've shaped you. Reflect on the person you were before and the person you have become. Often, it is only in hindsight that we can fully appreciate the growth that has occurred. Embracing the role of adversity as a teacher also means becoming comfortable with uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable and our plans often go awry. By learning to navigate uncertainty with grace and flexibility, we become more resilient. We learn to trust in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. In addition to embracing uncertainty, we must also cultivate patience. Change and growth are slow processes. They cannot be rushed. Patience allows us to endure the slow unraveling of transformation, to wait for the fruits of our labor without losing heart. It is also important to recognize the power of our narrative in the face of adversity. The stories we tell about our struggles can shape our experience of them. When we frame our challenges as opportunities for growth, we change the energy with which we approach them. We move from a place of resistance to one of acceptance and even enthusiasm for the journey ahead. Finally, in harvesting wisdom from life's thorniest fields, we must not forget to celebrate our victories, no matter how small. Each step forward is a triumph, a reaffirmation of our resilience and strength. By celebrating our progress, we reinforce our commitment to the path and to the process of continual growth. As we reflect on the transformative power of adversity, let us hold space for the wisdom it imparts. How can the trials you've faced serve as a foundation for a more resilient, more insightful you? The alchemy of the spirit, forging unbreakable resilience. In the final act of our journey through the realms of spiritual resilience, we arrive at the pinnacle of our transformation. Here, we engage in the alchemy of the spirit, where we transmute the base metals of our trials into the gold of unbreakable resilience. This concluding chapter is about integration, the synthesis of all we have learned into a cohesive whole, crafting an armor of wisdom that can withstand the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. The process of integration begins with the acknowledgement that life's experiences, both the bitter and the sweet, are threads in the same tapestry. Each thread has its place and purpose, contributing to the strength and beauty of the whole. We accept that our scars are not just reminders of our wounds, but also symbols of our healing and endurance. To integrate the aspects of spiritual resilience, we must adopt a holistic view of our lives. We see that our thoughts, emotions, and actions are interconnected, each affecting the other. By cultivating positive thoughts, managing our emotions mindfully, and taking purposeful actions, we create a self-reinforcing cycle of resilience. During this integration, it is crucial to maintain balance. Just as a tree needs both strong roots and the flexibility to sway, we must ground ourselves in our values while remaining adaptable to life's ever-changing circumstances. This balance ensures that we are neither rigid nor aimless, but purposeful and responsive. The art of integration also involves embracing our vulnerabilities. Recognizing our limitations is not a sign of weakness, but an act of courage. It allows us to reach out for support when needed, and to offer help in return, forging deep connections with others that serve as a source of mutual strength. In the alchemy of the spirit, we also learn the importance of ongoing reflection and learning. Our journey through adversity is not a destination but a continual process of becoming. We commit to lifelong learning, always open to new insights and understanding that contribute to our resilience. As we integrate our experiences, we also find purpose in our pain. We discover ways to use our struggles to inspire and uplift others, to contribute to the greater good. In doing so, we find that our own burdens are lightened and our sense of purpose is deepened. Finally, the culmination of our spiritual resilience is the emergence of a quiet confidence, a deep-seated knowing that we have the strength to face whatever life may bring. This confidence is not loud or boastful, but serene and unshakable, like the still waters at the depth of an ancient lake. As we draw our exploration to a close, let us consider how the alchemy of the spirit can manifest in our own lives. How can we integrate the lessons of resilience to not only survive but thrive in the midst of life's challenges? How can our transformed selves act as beacons of hope and strength to those still navigating the storm? Now, as we stand on the threshold of a new dawn, equipped with the tools and insights of spiritual resilience, we are ready to embrace life in all its complexity. May the wisdom we have harvested light our way, and may the strength we have cultivated carry us forward into a future of endless possibility.